Hello, hi, salam, wanakkam, and tachao. This is Coach Syubass. Today we are going to be learning the difference between 2 and 4. First and foremost, welcome to my channel. To my channel. I'm using 2 over here, and you are probably here for learn English. To learn English? For learn? Confusing, right? And that's why we are doing this. Today I'm going to be telling you the difference between 2, 4 and the similarities between 2, 4, and I will make sure by end of this session you have a clear picture of where to use 2 and where to use 4. Before we get into business, please remember to subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. So we are going to start by exploring 2 first, and there are 4 conditions for you to use 2. Ada 4 syarat di mana anda boleh menggunakan perkataan 2. Okay? Syarat pertama ialah the first condition is you can use 2 when you are using to refer to a destination. Apabila anda sedang merujuk kepada destinasi. I'm going to give you an example. Do you usually go to school by a car? Do you usually go to school by a car? So we look at the word to here is referring to going to school. School is the destination. Sekolah ialah destinasi. To school, going to a destination. The next example is, can you quickly run to the grocery store? Can you quickly run to the grocery store? To the grocery store. So kita pergi ke to a destination, which is the grocery store. The third example is, it's only 5 kilometers from my house to the office. It's only 5 kilometers from my house to the office. So to the office ialah ke suatu destinasi, which is the office. Condition number 2. 2 can be used to refer to time or the points between 2 time. Okay? Masa. Kita boleh menggunakan 2 untuk menunjukkan masa atau tempoh ataupun titik di antara 2 masa. The first example is, it's 10 minutes to 9. It's 10 minutes to 9. Okay, to 9. Masa. So kita gunakan 2. Example number 2. Our office is open from 9 to 6 p.m. So from 9 to 6 p.m. menunjukkan dari pukul 9 ke pukul 6. 2 points of time. And the third example is, I go to school from Mondays to Fridays. So dari Isnin ke Jumaat. So 2 point of time. Condition number 3 in using 2. 2 can be used to show preference. The first example for this condition is, I prefer chocolate to vanilla cake. I prefer, lebih suka, preference is kesukaan. Saya lebih suka chocolate to vanilla cake. Saya lebih suka chocolate daripada vanilla cake. Obviously, right? Who doesn't like chocolate? The next example is, Ali prefers riding his bike to walking. Ali prefers riding his bike to walking. Dia lebih suka menunggang daripada berjalan. And the third example, do you prefer tea to coffee? Awak lebih suka teh daripada kopi ke? Do you prefer tea to coffee? I love coffee. What do you like? What do you prefer something more than the other? Try to put down in the comment and I'll read them. The fourth condition and the final condition for 2. 2 can be used when you refer to a limit or an endpoint. Okay? Apabila kita merujuk kepada satu limit ataupun had. Example number 1. During the flood, the water came to my knees. During the flood, the water came to my knees. Air dah sampai ke had kaki saya. The next example. The new Samsung phone could cost up to 8,000 ringgit. Cost up to 8,000 ringgit maksudnya harga boleh sampai ke had 8,000 ringgit. Okay, so I've completed explaining the conditions that we can use 2. But before I go into 4, can you try to remember the 4 conditions that I taught you? Try to pause the video and recall the 4 conditions. Now, here are the 4 conditions for you. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, we are going to explore the usage of FOR, for. Okay, I'm going to give you 4 conditions to use this word. So the first condition is we can use the word for when we are referring to some kind of benefits. Kalau ada sesuatu jenis kelebihan, kita boleh menggunakan for. For an example, contohnya, ginger is great for your immune system. Ginger is great for your immune system. Okay, kelebihan ginger di sini jadi kita guna for. Is we are showing some benefit. Okay, next example. Exercise is good for you. Exercise is good for you. Okay, so again, we are showing the kelebihan, the benefit of exercising. The second condition to use the word for is when we are referring to a period of time. Okay, satu tempoh masa yang tertentu. I will give you my personal example. I have been living in Sungai Petani for the past 33 years. I have been living in Sungai Petani for the past 33 years. So for is referring to a period of time, satu tempoh masa yang tertentu. The next example is, how long have you known each other for? How long have you known each other for? So, berapa lama tempoh masa yang anda kenal, anda berdua kenal satu sama lain? And the third example is, I have been waiting for 30 minutes already. Where are you? I have been waiting for 30 minutes already. Where are you? Okay, for 30 minutes, selama satu tempoh masa 30 minit. We use for when we are helping someone. For example, kita membantu atau membuat satu untuk seseorang, when we are doing something for someone. For example, I baked this cake for my sister. I baked this cake for my sister. Saya buat kek ni untuk kakak atau adik saya. So I did something for someone. Example number 2. I need to grab those boxes for my mother. I need to grab those boxes for my mother. Okay, so saya kena ambil kotak-kotak itu untuk ibu saya. So I'm doing something for someone. And the third example is, hey, can you help collect the mail for me, please? Can you help collect the mail for me, please? Boleh tak awak bantu saya untuk kutip surat itu? So when you help someone to do something, then we can use for. So the fourth and the final condition to use for is when we are referring to a function or the use of something. Apabila kita merujuk kepada fungsi atau ciri-ciri sesuatu benda. Okay, contohnya, for example, what is a phone used for? So somebody is asking you to explain the feature or the function of a phone. Okay, mereka nak tahu ciri-ciri atau fungsi sebuah telefon. So the answer is, it is used for calling. It is used for calling. Okay, kita nak bagi tahu fungsi. We want to explain the function or the feature, right? Okay, but let me give you an extra grammar tip. There is a topic called gerund. Okay, so whenever you use for followed by a verb, we most commonly add ing, and that's gerund. I will be teaching that on another fine video, but for today, to make it simple for you, for followed by verb, it usually comes with ing. For call, verb, ing, right? Okay, the next example. Yeast is an ingredient used for baking bread. Yeast is an ingredient used for baking bread. For baking, B-A-K-E, verb ing, gerund. Okay, yeast is an ingredient used for baking bread. And the last example, that camera is used for taking picture underwater. That camera is used for taking picture underwater. So, for taking, you see, for take, verb plus ing. That camera is used for taking picture underwater. So that's about it, guys. I've given you 4 conditions to use FOR. Remember, pause the video and try to recall. Okay, I hope you tried pausing and trying to recall, but here's the list for you. The first condition, the second, the third, and the last. Okay, now I'm going to give you one last final tip to make you understand, because there are 4 conditions for 2, there are 4 conditions for 4. This is a bit confusing and it's going to be time consuming for you to remember them all, but here's a shortcut. Whenever you use to, most commonly it is followed by a verb, and whenever you use for, most commonly it is followed by a noun. It's not 100%, but it's just to make your life a bit easy. To followed by verbs, for followed by nouns. For an example, why is he studying English? He is studying English to apply for a job. To apply. To followed by a verb. The next example, the second example, he is studying English for work. He is studying English for work. So for is followed by a noun, work. See the difference? So this, I'm sure, will make your life very much easy. So before we end the video today, let me also share that sometimes the meaning and the context where we use to and for are also very important. Let me give you 2 examples to help you understand it better. One example is, my assistant brought lunch to me. And another example is, my assistant brought lunch for me. So these are 2 different things. When I say my assistant brought lunch to me, that means she or he took it from somewhere and came to me as a destination. Remember the clause I taught you for to? And the other example is, my assistant brought lunch for me. When it's for, this is the clause where for can be used to help. So the assistant brought lunch for me as an help. So it's 2 different things. One is bring from one place to another place, and the other one is brought it, maybe cooked and bring it for me as a help. So this, if you understand these 2 lines, I think you are good to go. Oh, you want me to give you another 2 examples? Fine. Okay, how about this one? I made a quick phone call to my mother, and I made a quick phone call for my mother. It means 2 different things, and both is correct. Okay, the first line first. I made a quick phone call to my mother means my call from here reaching my mother from one destination to another place. So there I use to. The next line is, I made a phone call for my mother, meaning I am not talking to my mother, I dial it for her so that she can speak to someone. I made a phone call to my mother, I made a phone call for my mother. I hope you understand. So that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching the class, and I hope that this lesson was productive and there is something that you learned from me. Until I see you again next week, this is Coach Syubass. Goodbye.